Hey everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. Okay, new day, new cup project. I'm going to do a basic wood grain today. I'm going to do a very simple version. I'm not going to do any knots. I'm just going to do the wood grain look in general. I have a 30-ounce skinny straight tumbler. I sanded it, I washed it off, and I spray painted it pretty badly. But this is flat white, Rust-Oleum 2X, flat white. And I am going to take a bottle of Tim Holtz Ranger in teak wood. This is the only brown I'm going to use. And a cheapo chip brush that I got at Walmart as part of a set. And I'm just going to run a bead down there, sort of smoosh it up, and then do this. And I'm going to repeat that process all the way around the cup until I'm happy with what I have. I have to go over some areas a second time, etc., etc. But you get the idea. And we'll just keep going in fast mo here. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to set this aside and let it dry thoroughly, which won't take very long, and say half an hour. Then I'm going to take it outside and spray it with two very light coats of Rust-Oleum matte clear spray. And I say light coats because if you concentrate it, you get the nozzle too close to the wood grain or something, it could run. It could actually cause your alcohol inks to run. Now that you've taken the time to do this, it might ruin the design. So very light coats. We'll give it two. That should seal the alcohol inks in, and then we will move on to the next step. So stay tuned. And we're back. All right, I have a new Zuri mold. This is a gorgeous mold of an owl sitting on a branch. I think it says, wish it, dream it, do it, or something like that. We're not going to use the words. That's not the point of this exercise here today. I am going to color in the owl, and I have some vivid hollow chromes, and I'm not entirely sure I'm going to use all of these, but these are the ones I have out. This is Forest, Periwinkle, Peridot, Steel, which is like a dark silver, Jade, Toasted Coconut, and Onyx. I'll start with the Onyx. I'm going to put that, I think, for the branch. Although branches aren't usually black, but you know, this one's going to be. I have my various sizes of Wet n Wild makeup brushes, and I have a little, very small detail brush as well. Here we go. Sit back and watch. Alrighty, there we go. I just tapped out the excess over the trash can. And yeah, it's not perfect, and it certainly isn't any owl I've seen a picture of, but should look gorgeous. And that's the important part here. So we will be back later. I will mix up some black resin and pour this in, and then we'll come back for the next step. Okay, we're back. This has set up, but hopefully still bendy. Yep, and I can even leave fingerprints in it. But that's all right, because this side's going against the cup. So now, let's see if we can get it out of the mold. This is another one where I sprayed it with mold release before I brushed in the mica powder, so it should be okay. Just needs a little extra convincing because it wants to bend with the mold. There we go. Sorry. There we go. There's our beautiful owl. All right, now bring over our wood grain cup. Put that out of the way. I want to put our E6000 on here. That does go down a bit. There we go. Press it into place. Once again, it's very early in the morning. I have not had my coffee. And then we get our silicone wrap. Bucket of scrunchies here. Make sure everything's good and pressed down. it up tightly. Our silicone wrap. And we scrunchify it. Okay, we will leave that to sit and harden and cure up and set and all that good stuff, and we'll come back for the next step. Stay tuned. We're back. We are going to unveil our owl cup to date. Take off the scrunchies. And here she is. Ooh, lovely. Beautiful. It is good and sealed on there. Do not be worried about bloops, because by the time we get resin all over it, things like this little bloop here will be camouflaged completely. At this point, I'm going to zhuzh our owl up a little with some wax. While I think the Vivid Hollows do an amazing job, because they do, they're gorgeous, I also think we could add a little extra depth and luster to our owl. So we have green, black, but it does make a difference. I will zoom in so you can see. Okay, got that waxed, it's beautiful. We're going to flip it over now and put on a decal right opposite. So, and go with my pieces that I can feel as the outer edge, which means we're right in the middle here. I picked out a saying I like, I tweaked it a little. Observe, reflect, become a little wiser every day. So that is the sentiment we are going to put on the cup. I think, in general, we humans could do this and benefit from it. Yay! That worked. Yeehaw. Observe, reflect, become a little wiser every day. By maybe not using vinyl. Gorgeous. Here, I'll turn it that way so you can see the whole thing. Now what happens? Now I take it to another room of the house. I put on a layer of UV resin, tack down the vinyl, I put a bead of UV resin around the owl to make sure all the edges are sealed, so little gaps maybe I can't see won't release any air into the epoxy resin layer that goes over it. I'll put on the UV resin, I will wait for it to cure, we'll come back and we'll do the next layer of resin and see how it turns out. So stay tuned. And we're back. Here is our owl on our Woodgrain Tumbler. I am going to apply some resin now. I'm going to mix up about 20 milliliters, and I have another cup project going, so I'll mix up more than that, but I'll use, I think, about 20 milliliters on this cup. I'm going to use liquid stone from KS Resin. I will start with the cup turner off and the owl facing up, and I will apply resin here first to make sure I get it in all the nooks and crannies and crevices. And then I will set the turner going and apply resin to the rest of the cup. I do intend on using, I was thinking about rainbow, but glitter marabou inks, alcohol inks, are violet to blue to green, gold to bronze to green, and pink to green to gold. So I think I'm going to use the gold to bronze to green. I think that covers enough of what's going on here, and the bronze is, I don't know, kind of sort of wood grain, kind of. So I will put some of this in the resin that I'm going to put on this cup, and then I'll apply it as I just described, and we will come back for the big reveal tomorrow.